to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy. Today we're here to do the full review of the Talisker Storm. Excuse me. If you're new to the channel, hello and welcome. For those returning viewers, welcome back. So here we have the Talisker Storm, which is a single malt Scotch whiskey. It was established in 1830, which is when the distillery started to making these beautiful, delicious juice in a bottle. It says it is powerful and smoky and brooding spice. And that it is indeed, my friend. Made by the sea. Now, it doesn't mean that it was made, the sea made it, but they made it adjacent to the sea. And where you're going to get a lot of this great stuff, I'm going to give you a look at the back of the box. Made by the sea, not from the sea, or of the sea, by the coastlines. There you go. Distilled at the Talisker Distillery, Carbost, Isle of Skye, Scotland. It is a Diageo product, imported in through the way of New York. Is there anything else off the box? No. Thank you for your service, and in the bin you go. So now we're looking at the bottle. The bottle pretty much has all the other bit of information off the box. This is a 45.8% alcohol by volume, and it does come in this 750 milliliter. There's coordinates. I'm gonna look that up. It does have a serving facts label on it. That's kind of funny. Not a whole lot after that, but we're gonna move on. So this Talisker Storm was another one of those bottles that Mr. Randy acquired from that dollar sale, or it was an inventory reduction sale because they wanted to not have to pay extra taxes and fees and whatnot, because it's third quarter of the year coming in and they needed to get stuff off the shelves that's not making any money, but it's costing them money. Now, Mr. Randy did do some inventory marketing, sales, and logistics and whatnot in his past. So I do understand it. When they call it a dollar sale, what they actually did was like they took each and every single of the bottles down to cost. Then they raised it by $1 so that they actually do make something off of each bottle. So this is a non-age stated. They used American and European oak barrels. And a little bit of information for people in the know. This has a 18 to 22 parts per million. If you know what that is, there's that information for you. So like I said, this was a part of that inventory reduction sale. And I did get it just under $59 due to their sale numbers, discount I had. It brought it down to just under $59. How much was it regularly? This usually goes upwards to $70. Just about every store around me has it for close to $70. So let's go ahead, break out, take a look at that. I wanted to give it a little bit of time to open up a little bit more and see if we can't get some, see if we can do what we can do with viscosity. There we go. A little bit started here and there. They get better as it opens up a little bit more. It's had plenty of time and lots of room to run around in that bottle. So we're going to break out Mr. Randy's handy dandy whiskey color scale. And off camera, I'm going to see if I can't nail it down to a copper. I think it's probably going to be burnt amber into a copper. I think it's probably closer to burnt amber. I think they said it was a copper on their website. Oh, Scotch. I love Scotch. It's so comfortable. It's very salty, very briny. It does have some peatiness into it. Got that smoke, that peatiness, that brininess. Everything you love in those island Scotch. It's got a good nose. It's got a real good for one of these types of Scotch. It's got a very nice nose on it. So let's go ahead and get on the palate. Oof. So it does have a little bit of a better viscosity. Well, I mean, I've seen better legs on this one for sure. But that viscosity you can definitely transfers into the mouth on the palate. You get some good oiliness. Not a whole heck of a lot, but it's definitely nowhere near being watery. That is, it's got some sweetness to it, which is relatively nice. It's not just that deep, dark, mellow. What did they say? Dark and broody, powerful and smoky, brooding spice. Close enough, I guess. It does have a little bit of a sweet spiciness, and it is it's nice. It's very nice. It's one of my favorite when it comes to these island Scotch. It is from the Isle of Skye. So all the whiskeys and Scotch that come from this area, they have all sort of share the same sort of, I don't know what to call it. All the characteristics sort of line up. They vary here and there. Some a little stronger, some a little weaker. They balance in and out, which makes it great. I mean, I always love a different kind of Scotch. It's got a beautiful nose. The palate's pretty nice too. It's got a little bit of strength more on the palate than it does on the nose. Yeah, that's not quite on the same level as an Ardbeg. Probably not really close to a Lefroy either, but it is in the same, they live in the same neighborhood. Okay. There was something I was out of my mind about this. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, hopefully it pops into my head while we're doing the finish. Let's go ahead and get that finish. There is a brief, somewhat intense, but brief intensity of like that iodine character. So the finish starts off tip of the tongue, all lit up. You can barely register it in the rest of the mouth, but it really, because I think the tip of the tongue is really like drawing all your attention. But now I can feel it sort of like rolling across the back of the tongue, sort of coming down the sides of the cheeks. And there's that warmth starting to sit up on the very back of the mouth. It's a very nice Scotch. It's a very nice, smoky, spicy, briny. It's very nice. It's got a nice warmth, sort of like the whole mouth now. Majority of it's in the back, but the whole mouth is sort of a little bit warmed up. It's very nice. I could not find anything that said if there was any color added, but they say that this is the step up from the 10-year. I have not even really thought about the 10-year, but now I will. A lot of people have said this is a step up from the 10. That this one is a little bit, I don't say, how do you say it? A little darker, a little broodier. But then they say there's a Talisker Dark Storm, which I think would probably put it around the 12-year mark or something. I don't remember. I kind of skimmed over the other ones to get to the Storm, but there's a 10-year, a Dark Storm. I think there's two other expressions from the Talisker line, but they say it's the 10, the Storm, and then the Dark Storm. So I guess this 10 would be a step down, a little bit more mellow, a little softer, a little easier. The Dark Storm might be a step up. It's got more oak characters, probably because it has been in the oak barrels a bit longer. So I'm thinking that might be more towards the 12, while this might be more towards 10. They say this was basically influenced off of the 10. So that's why they consider it the next step up. Well, I don't know, because I haven't tried the 10 or the Dark Storm. If you have, let me know in the comments. What do you think? If you tried all three of these so far, let me know in the comments where these sit for you. So the finish is now starting to subside, but I'm still getting a bit of a presence, you know, at the top of the esophagus, right through the back. Everything else is pretty much done, but it's just kind of hanging out in the back now. So my score on this, well, considering that I only paid less than 59, but it's normally closer to 70, I was very lucky and fortunate to have gotten this into my whole lineup because Mr. Randy has his price point ceiling pinned at $60. So it slid just in under there. I was very fortunate. So this being $70 bottle, I would say my fair price with this would be under 60. And that's not because that's where I pinned my price point ceiling, but I feel like it's really good. I just don't think $70 for this bottle is where it's at. I've had much better bottles for much less. So we're going to give it a strong 4 out of 5. I'm sorry, a solid 4 out of 5. Does it? I don't know. That's what I have written down. That's how I feel. I feel like it is a solid 4 out of 5. What could make it better? Probably bring down the price point a little bit, but I'm just nitpicking. I'm probably biased on that situation. So we're moving on to the final part where I consider whether or not I'm going to buy this again, and the answer would be sure, but you know, there is the 10 and then there is the Dark Storm. I think the Dark Storm is like $89-$90. It's 90. I think it's like $90. So I don't know if I'm ever going to see that one for a while until Mr. Randy increases his ceiling price point up to like 100. Then I might be able to get some of those. But let us know what you think down in the comments. And as always, thanks for stopping by here at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. You have a good one.